Good morning, gentlemen. I'm coming to you today from the Deanship of the Common Year at Majma University, and we are continuing with our English Second Language course, the online version. I am your teacher, Dale Warren. The language skill which I am covering today is speaking, and we're doing Unit 8 of Level 2. Once again, we are using the textbook, Q Skills for Success, and it is Book 2 of the Listening and Speaking books. All right, I trust you all have the book with you. Our lesson content today is taken from page 153, and we are covering cause and result clauses. So if you could just pause the video, and all of you please turn to page 153. All right, you should all be at page 153. The homework that we will be covering today will be exercise B at the bottom of page 153 and continuing on to page 154. Okay, so the page you should be looking at is this one, page 153, and it is if clauses for future possibility. All right, an if clause is a clause that gives us the cause of something. It gives us the reason that something happens, and an if clause usually takes its verb in the present tense. So if we look at some examples of clauses or of if clauses, an if clause, if Sally eats chocolate, you look at the verb and it is in the present tense. If you look at our second example of a cause clause, if Ahmed plays well, that verb plays is in the present tense. It is happening now. It is in the present tense. If Sally eats chocolate, if Sally plays well. And notice both of these cause clauses start with that significant little word if. So remember that if it is the clause, it will start with that word if. Now, a cause clause will go together with a result clause. And the result clause will tell us the result of the action in the cause clause. The result clause will usually take a modal verb such as will, can, should, or may, and then it will take a main verb in the base form. Okay. All right. So we have our cause clause first and our result clause. So our cause clause is very simple. If Sally eats chocolate, it's a cause clause, so you have the word if to start it, and you have your verb eats in the present tense. You then have the result clause, and it has a modal verb. In this case, will is our modal verb, and it has the main verb, which comes after the modal verb, and the main verb here is get. And the main verb has to be in the base form. If we look at example number 2, if Ahmed plays well, it is a cause clause, so it will start with that word if. It will have a verb, plays, which will be in the present tense. And then we have the result clause. And in the result clause, we have a modal verb, and in this case, the modal verb is should. And we have a main verb, which will be in the base form, and in this case, the main verb is that word would. So it is very simple. Let us make one or two more examples. If Feroza drives fast, if starts your cause clause, and drives, your verb will be in the present tense. If Feroza drives fast, her children will scream. Okay, so that gives you the result of Feroza driving fast. Her children will. Will is your modal verb, which could be will, can, should, may, might. We are just using will here. And your main verb is scream, and the main verb has to be in the base form, and scream is in the base form. If he gets sick, he might go to hospital. All right. Again, you have a cause clause, which has to start with that word if. It has a verb, which should be in the present tense. And here our verb is gets. We have a result clause, and that result clause has firstly a modal verb, which in this case is might. So we have our modal verb, which comes first, and we have our main verb, which is number 2, go. And the main verb has to be in the base form. So, the cause clause has two things. It has if, and it has one verb, which will be in the present tense. The result clause has firstly a modal verb, will, or should, or will, or might, can, could, whatever else. We have just used these particular ones. And then it has a main verb in the base form, and our main verbs here are get, win, scream, or go. You will put the modal verb in front of the main verb, which comes in the base form. Right. Now, in these 4 examples, we have put the cause clause first, and we have put the result clause second. Okay. But you do not have to do it in that order. We can also put the result clause first and the cause clause second. So we can say the result is Sally will get fat if he eats chocolate. So the result of eating chocolate is that Sally gets fat. So we do not have to say if Sally eats chocolate he will get fat. We can also say Sally will get fat if he eats chocolate. If Ahmed plays well, he should win the game. We are putting it first, but we can say Ahmed should win the game if he plays well. You can do it that way. We can say if Feroza drives fast, her children will scream, but we can also say Feroza's children will scream if she drives fast. We can say if he gets sick, he might go to hospital, but we can also say he might go to hospital if he gets sick. So you can do it either way. You can put the result clause first and the if clause second, or you can put the if clause first and the result clause second. Okay, so basically what that means is that they both mean exactly the same. If he gets sick, he might go to hospital, means exactly the same as he might go to hospital if he gets sick. All right. The result is that he goes to hospital, and the cause is he gets sick. But you can do this in either order. You can say if he gets sick, he might go to hospital, or you can say he might go to hospital if he gets sick. Either way is correct. Alright, we need to do exercise 153A, and what I want you to do in this exercise, they are going to read sentences and you must break those sentences down into the cause clause and the result clause. Remember that the cause clause is the part which starts with if. When you hear the if, you know it is the cause clause. And the other clause will be the result clause. So what I need you to do is fill in which one is the cause clause and which is the result clause.
Unit 8. Grammar. Activity A. 1.
If they test the water from the river, they'll find out that it's polluted.
Alright, so the example, if they test the water from the river, they'll find out that it's polluted. And in this one, the cause clause came first.
Two.
You might get sick if you drink water from the river.
3.
Many
Let me go back a minute.
2.
You might get sick if you drink water from the river.
Alright. Write down which one is the cause clause and which one is the effect clause.
3.
Many people think they won't get sick if they use hand sanitizer.
4.
If it doesn't rain soon, the lake might dry up completely.
5.
If more people have clean water, fewer children will die from water-related diseases.
Alright, let's do this again more slowly. And if you didn't get the answers to write in the last time, you have another chance.
Unit 8. Grammar. Activity A. 1.
If they test the water from the river, they'll find out that it's polluted.
2.
You might get sick if you drink water from the river.
3,
Many people think they won't get sick if they use hand sanitizer.
4,
If it doesn't rain soon, the lake might dry up completely.
5,
If more people have clean water, fewer children will die from water-related diseases.
'Alright, everybody, let's do this and work through the answers together.
Unit 8, Grammar, Activity A. 1,
If they test the water from the river, they'll find out that it's polluted.
2,
You might get sick if
Number 2, sick.
you drink water from the river.
Alright, here the result clause came first, you might get sick, and the cause clause came second, if you drink water from the river.
Three,
Many people think they won't get sick if they use hand sanitizer.
Okay, again, the result clause came first. And the cause clause came second. Okay, so many people think they won't get sick if they use hand sanitizer. And the second one, you might get sick if you drink water from the river. Alright, then let's try the next one.
Four,
If it doesn't rain soon,
4. Here, the cause clause came first. If it doesn't rain soon.
the lake might dry up completely.
The result clause came second. Okay, if it doesn't rain soon, the lake might dry up completely.
five,
If more people have clean water,
Here, the cause clause came first. If more people have clean water,
fewer children will die from water-related diseases.
and the result clause came second. The result clause, fewer children will die from water-related diseases. So, number one, the cause clause, if they test the water from the river, they'll find out that it's polluted. Number two, the result clause came first. You might get sick, and then the cause clause, if you drink water from the river. Number three, the result clause came first. Many people think they won't get sick, and then we had the cause clause, if they use hand sanitizer. The next one, number four, the cause clause came first. If it doesn't rain soon, and then we had the result clause, the lake might dry up completely. Number five, the cause clause came first. If more people have clean water, and then we had the result clause second, fewer children will die from water-related diseases. Okay, please all check these answers. And if you didn't get the answers correct, please write them into the book as they are here. You can pause the video to do that, and then as soon as you have finished writing in the correct answers, we need to move on. All right. Homework. Exercise B, which starts at the bottom of page 153 over here, and then it continues to page 154 over here. Okay, it's a very simple exercise. They need you to make sentences using if and turning the one phrase or the one clause into a cause clause and the other one into a result clause. So if we look at example number one, they use the underground lake that is going to be our cause, and the result will be have water for 400 years. The way you would do that, you would say, if they use the underground. Okay. Now remember, this is your cause clause. And that is your result clause. Remember, you will have to have 2 clauses for each of your answers. Okay, you will have to have a cause clause and you will have to have a result clause. You can have the cause clause first or the result clause first, it doesn't matter. But your cause clause does have to start with that word if. The verb must be in the present tense in the cause clause. And in the result clause, you must firstly have a modal verb, which here we are using will. And after the modal verb, you have your main verb, which is have in this sentence. And that main verb must be in the base form. So remember, you have to have a cause clause in each answer. You have to have a result clause in each answer. Your cause clause must start with the word if, and it must have a verb in the present tense. Your result clause must have a modal verb, which could be will, shall, should, could, can, might, and it must have a main verb. Here we are using have as our main verb, and that main verb must be in the base form. What I need you guys to do, we've done number 1 as an example, so I need you to go to the next page, page 154, and do answers 2 to 6. When you have done that, I need you to take a photo on your smartphones, and I need you to send that as homework to your normal English speaking teacher. Alright, thank you very much, gentlemen, and we will be coming back to you again next week.